Happy New Year, everybody. We are now on lots and lots of different platforms. Everybody say hello to everybody on Facebook and YouTube, everybody on Zoom, getting our community coming all together. I love it. Yay. So I am just going to record this. I know we're going to have many more people coming on board as we always do here in this community. I come on early and give information and share different stories and things like that. First of all, welcome to the day one of the Vice Freedom Challenge. As I was saying, it's a lot of fun because we just finished up this very juicy, wonderful month, and I've received some feedback on it, and I'm just so grateful for the meditations. And then we had this yesterday, this incredible New Year's Eve meditation, which if any of you weren't able to be there live, haven't listened to it, I highly encourage you listen to it. Even if you were there live, you get the recording and, listen to it again. It helps solidify that energy. So for our community, before we officially get going, right at the hour, just want to remind those of you, and you know who you are, the ladies that are going to the Sedona retreat in February. You have your night pod on January 1st and February 1st. So from 8 o'clock your time, whatever time zone you're on, until 8 o'clock in the morning, you have a pod to seep into. It's like a manifestation bubble, just pop on into it. So we're also going to be having a call soon and sometime in January. So we can release some stuff before we actually get to Sedona. There are 4 spots available, and you have to reach out to Beth if any of you are interested in. So it's going to be awesome. The other thing is that on February 25th, I'm going to talk about this in a minute. We have our live healing event in Scottsdale, Arizona. So come and see me in person. It'd be awesome to see all of you. We do have a handful of seats, and then we also have some virtual seats as well. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So here we are. Those of you that are in the Vice Freedom program already, you've done the Vice Freedom program before. Once you're in Vice Freedom, you're always in Vice Freedom. Your playbook for the entire 30 days was sent to you through email. So if you didn't receive that, you want to download that and be able to redo it again. Just go fresh, new. You're going to hear things that I've never said before, that we're going to say differently, different examples, different stories. Counsel's going to come in different spots. For those of you that want to join us for the entire 30 days and haven't been in Vice Freedom program, we're here 7 days as a challenge. You can go to christywhitman.com/Vice Freedom. Vice is VICE, freedom. So christywhitman.com/Vice Freedom is if you want to join us for the rest of the month. If you want to invite someone to join this challenge with you as soon as we get going right at the top of the hour, you can have them go to christywhitman.com/Vice. And this is very exciting because we are about to release a vice. So think about what you want to let go of as you have split energy. Maybe that you feel you drink a little too much wine. That I used to love my wine, and I wouldn't drink every single night, but I would drink enough that it would disturb my sleep, and my sleep would be choppy. And then the next day I wasn't feeling good. And then I would have to drink coffee, and then I still was tired. And I was in this like hamster wheel that I couldn't get off. And so I stopped drinking over 4 years ago. And I'm not like, oh, you can't drink around me, or drinking's bad, or anything like that. Just for me, I made a choice today. If I'm having a meal, do I want that drink? No, I don't. I even had friends over the other night. They were drinking wine. I'm like, no, thank you. I'm good. So it's just something that I no longer connect with and vibrate with. And I get really good sleep now because of it. There's a lot of other things I've given up through vices. And I'm going to take all of you through the first steps of this program, through this challenge. The first 7 days we're here. And it's amazing. So before we get going, I'm just going to get this out of the way so I can just give content. For those of you that want to join the Vice Freedom program, it's normally an abundance exchange of $497, but you are going to get $100 off. Some of you, because you're in community, received a gift, right? So that shows up in your checkout cart as immediate savings. So you can go there and it's $397. Once again, once you're in Vice Freedom, you're always in it. You get the 30-day program includes daily connections on Zoom or Facebook Live. We are going to have Facebook private group access so that as the community, you can connect there. You'll have an activity sheet to help you really bring this through, and things that helped me along my journey when I quit smoking about 26 years ago. And you're going to get additional 2 live Zoom Q&A calls with the council. So you can just ask the council, they're 60 minutes each. You can ask the council whatever you want on those Q&A calls. And then the new registrations by January 10th, you are going to get the healing event that I mentioned, the virtual healing event, which is a $297 value. You're going to get that for free. So you get a ticket to the February 25th healing event. And my friend, Mary Morrissey, you're going to get her Dream Builder live virtual event. That's January 27th through the 29th, which is a $594 value. So you're basically putting in an abundance exchange for $397, and you're getting more in the value of what you get just even in the bonuses and all that before you even go. So like I was saying, once you're in Vice Freedom, you are always in Vice Freedom. We have people that have, and welcome to the Vice Freedom Challenge Day 1. We've had people here that have given up smoking, whether it's cigarettes, pot. Yes, I still call it pot. Is that old fashioned? Weed, whatever the kids are calling it these days. Drinking, right? Alcohol, wine, coffee, soda, whatever we drink that we feel is a vice, that we do too much, that maybe takes away our pain or what we're trying to escape from for a very short period of time, but then we end up needing more, or things that lower our vibration, whether it's sugar, cookies, fudge, whatever that may be, right? Many people right now, during this changing and uncertain world that we're in, start to use vices or use them more in order to feel comforted. And how sometimes, frankly, how to escape the uncertainty that's happening around them or in their own personal world or collectively. And when we as human beings experience uncertainty and we don't know that the source of our certainty is the divine, is light, and we don't know how to access it. So what we feel is fear or doubt or anxiety. Uncertainty has us reaching for things that make us feel a little bit more comforted, right? So in order to try to feel better about ourselves or the world that we're in, or that part of us that is just hidden, needing relief from the pain that they're in, right? We reach for something. And in order to try to feel better about our lives or ourselves, the situations we're in, the relationships we're in, we naturally want to feel good. It's our nature to thrive and to feel good. That's part of our divine design. So when we don't, we reach for things, whether it's a habit internally or we reach outside of ourselves for vices to calm the storm, so to speak. So what we're about to embark on during this challenge, and I welcome all of you for being here on day 1 of the Vice Freedom Challenge, and for the entire rest of the month, if you choose, is releasing your pain body. Those points of pain, when someone can push that button, well, that's a pain point. That's part of the pain body. And if we can release that pain body, we can move then into our love body or our light body. So as I was saying before, the 5 steps really to energy mastery that the council brought forth is, number 1, you want to focus on what you want. It's 2023, y'all. Happy New Year. What you want to focus on. If you didn't do the New Year's Eve meditation Please do that, because that gets you so clear on what do I want to declare this year to be. And it's really funny. I found an old, because I just moved, I found an old notebook, and I didn't have much written in it. And I was looking for a journal to start journaling. And it was 2016. And this is from the 2016. So it was 2015 when I did this. 2016 is all about joy. Well, 2023 is a mix of that too, because we got a puppy and we named her Joy. So all day long, I'm chasing joy. So here it is. Focus on what you want. Focus on what you want. Become a vibrational match to what you want, meaning align with it. Feel the energy of it, connect with it, rendezvous with it, feel the having of it. And then if there's anything, any thought, any perspective, any belief, any habit, any vice that takes you out of being in alignment, what I call split energy, what's that split energy? What is that habit that you want to release that would make the biggest difference in your life and bring you back to feeling good, to feeling unlimited, to feeling what you are declaring your 2023 to be? And it doesn't have to be just one word. Back in 2016, and I've been doing this for over 20 years, and I've been doing this collectively here for 16 years. Choose what you want, and then feel the energy of that essence. And imagine that energy is literally today, for this moment, that energy of whatever it is that you said you want, joyful bliss and prosperity and abundance and mixed on in, whatever you're declaring your 2023 to be, feel that energy, feel that light. And then what is the habit you want to release so that you can come back to that place? My entire last 20 plus years since learning and applying all of this information and learning the universal laws has been about identifying and releasing those habits, those patterns, the behaviors, the thoughts, the perspectives that keep me limited, and shifting them, taking care of that split energy so I can come back into alignment, so I can know my life and myself as unlimited. And now I get the honor of assisting all of you to do this as well. So this is my invitation for you during the next 7 days during this Vice Challenge. And again, for those of you that are continuing on for the rest of the month, I want to share this information, the same information that I have applied in my life over and over and over again. Even just recently, I had a bushwhack happen at Christmas, and it literally shook me up to the core of when I was a little girl with my mom. And I'm grateful that I still have my mom in my life, because that clearly needed to be healed. But as I was working with light and playing with light and bringing in compassion, I still reached out to some fudge. And, so I had to work this process again, just with fudge. But I have released, I was a pack and a half a day smoker, released cigarettes, released drinking soda. I don't drink soda anymore. It's been a very long time. I don't even know how many years, maybe 20. I used to drink a big gulp. For those of you that, I used to go to the gym and not bring water. I'd bring a big gulp with me. Okay. That's how, that was a big deal for me. So for me to release that as a vice, it was a big deal. For somebody else, it might not be. And I haven't touched pop or soda, whatever y'all call, soft drinks, for probably 20 years. But, and I recently just released my aunt's fudge. I had a huge vice of having artificial sweeteners. So I would drink coffee, and in that coffee, I would pour five Splendas in that coffee. You should have heard people taking my orders, but I don't drink coffee anymore even. So there's so many things I have released that I used to cling to feel better. And by applying this information, again, there are things like alcohol, sugar. I'd given up sugar a long time until the fudge thing, but it's all a process. And now I just don't desire it anymore, because it's like that conversation we have with that devil on one side telling you to do something and the angel on the other side telling you not to do it. You don't have that anymore. You just have light supporting you when you give up vices, because wherever there are vices, something that we are doing that makes us feel better, whatever that better is, more awake, more alive, more centered, more funny, more whatever it is, because when we're not doing it, when we're not complaining, or when we're not judging, we have to actually settle into our own pain and release it. That's why you see someone that, or you even yourself, are judgmental. My husband the other day, it was so funny. We were outside playing with the kids and at a park, and there was a man flying a kite. And I was like, I love kites, And my husband was like, wow, he looks like he's really enjoying himself with that kite. I looked at him, I go, are you judging the man for flying a kite? And he goes, yeah, I kind of am. And I go, he's in his joy. Why are you judging his joy? Like, you're the one that's now out of joy. Probably we're out of joy because you judged him in the first place. You see someone in joy and you judge them for what they're doing. That's not because it's about them. It's about what we're avoiding inside of ourselves. And he just goes, yeah, that's true. Why am I judging? And then he got introspective. He just allowed himself to feel the compassion and to release whatever he was judging himself for. Because when we're judging others, we're already judging ourselves. So what I want for all of you is to stop, stop the struggle. Stop the constant beating yourself up. Stop the judgments. Stop the feelings of being powerless to these vices, to these outer substances. And to stop using the patterns and emotions of worry and fear and even anger as a go-to vice when things come up in your life. Yes, we've actually had people give up worry and fear. We've specifically had people give up worry about money, and now is their entire relationship with money and their outer circumstances with money, the abundance is tremendous. So whatever is your thing that you have split energy on, understand we are in relationship with everything. And we start any relationship by the energy that we hold about any given subject. And that even includes our vices. So quickly, I just want to define what is a vice. So let's define a vice as any behavior that someone craves temporary relief or pleasure from and does it in the long term, can't give it up, and then are suffering negative consequences. So any behavior that you have, that you crave, that you want to do as a temporary relief of something, or that you think it's going to give you pleasure for a moment, and it does, but in the long term, you can't stop it or give it up, and are suffering negative consequences because of it. Another way of looking at it as the human being in full alignment feels good. When we get out of alignment, we want to feel good, but we don't know how to get back in alignment. So we saw other people, we witnessed other people, we have a certain tool, right? If, for example, if there was no fudge around, there would be no fudge for me to grab to eat, to use as a tool. Grab it, eat it, association, feel a temporary relief. Well, it must be the fudge. We don't consciously think that, but that's what happens. I was out of alignment because of something that happened. And to soothe myself, I was soothing with compassion, but to soothe myself even more, I reached for the fudge. Ooh, that felt better than what this just happened. So we naturally, even babies, even puppies, want to learn how to self-soothe. The habit, so here's alignment, we get out of alignment, and then the habit or the vice, say the fudge, takes us further away from the pain, but also out of alignment. And so, some consequences or some vices are obviously bigger than others. Some can have an effect on your health, whether it's smoking or even sometimes drinking, eating sugar, some on your wallet, again, smoking, depending on what you're smoking. And like if someone has a wine habit, wine can range in different prices and things. It could have an effect on your wallet. Some of the vices, let's just say this, all of the vices have an ability to take away your true feeling of peace and joy within. But all of them have an effect on what you manifest. Why? Because vices or habits are not the problem. They're actually an attempt to try to solve the problem. But what happens is, whether it's an internal pattern such as judging, criticizing, these are vices, judging, criticizing. We're going to work with judging today. That's the first thing we want to do in this process, is the process and the stopping of judgment of yourself, judgment of this is bad to do this, just judgment in general. When you find that you are judging, allow yourself to feel compassion. Let yourself be soothed with that energy of compassion. Compassion feels like it's okay. Just breathe. In this moment, all is well. You have enough. Just let yourself feel soothed. Let yourself feel comforted that in this moment, breathe in, breathe out. You come back to your breath, right? This is the first practice. It might be I don't even want that. Taking your hand, cutting the cord. I don't want that thing. But then shifting into, what do I want? Because if we stay in, I don't want that. When we say don't, like I don't want to smoke, I don't want to eat that, we're now focused on whatever that is. So cutting the cord, I don't want that, but what I want instead is I want to feel good. So allow yourself to feel compassion instead of going into judgment. But internal patterns of vices are judging, criticizing, complaining, beating yourself up. That's the one I got to. That was really cool, is knowing all that I've been known and doing this as long as I have with so many different things. I found myself literally in the shower beating myself up because I ate too much fudge. And I went, whoa, it's not the fudge. The fudge is the vice. The fudge is this thing will make me feel better. But what's really underneath it is I get to play the victim. We're going to get into the Vice Freedom program, the drama triangle and how to get out of it, how to stop playing the victim, how to stop when someone is making you out to be the bad guy, making you, no matter if you're not the bad guy and you don't feel you're the bad guy, if they perceive that you're the bad guy and that gets in and hurts, you become the victim. And that's where I was. I was in the place of playing the victim. And what the victim needs is someone, an internal persecutor, to beat them up. So my persecutor was beating up my victim. And I was feeling the victim to the thing that I thought was going to rescue me, which was the fudge. This is drama. This is like insanity. So beating yourself up is a vice. Playing the rescuer is a vice, or even playing the victim. All of them are deeply rooted in lack and limitation. For some of you that are like, victim, rescuer, persecute, what are you talking about? Don't worry, I'm going to give bite-sized chunks of information. We have a lot of range. We have people that have been doing this Vice Freedom, challenge with me for 4 years. Others have been with me for 16 years. Others work really intimately with the council. And some of you are new to the community or even new to this language. So speaking to all of you, right? All of that does not feel good is deeply rooted in lack and limitation. And they're all indications that we're living from our pain body and not our love or our light body. So the outer habits, like I mentioned before, could be smoking, shopping, eating too much sugar, or eating sugar, coffee, soda. It's way that whether I need a pick me up, right? And the M&Ms do that in the middle of the day. That's a vice. It helps you feel better in some way. And some of you are like, don't touch my M&Ms. Don't touch my coffee. I don't want to touch anything. It's your decision as to maybe work with the inner vice. If you don't want to touch the coffee, or don't touch the M&Ms or the cigarette or the why you hear it, but if you don't want to touch that stuff, go deeper. Go deeper. Meaning, why are you reaching for what you're reaching for outside of you? Because it usually has to do with something internally, because you're not connected or aligned. We're trying to soothe ourselves, but we don't know a better way. And we're going to look at these ways that we do it, the things that we do, the relationships that we have without judgment, possibly for the first time ever, because we're trying to make ourselves feel better. And judging ourselves or judging what we're doing, as in you are bad or good, and if you did it, you're bad, that's more beating yourself up. This way, we want you to think of it as this. Your vices are a tool. These tools work for a bit of time. There's some kind of payoff. But after a while, they stop working because you're inside the drama triangle with it. It's like, someone you think could come rescue you, or person you put all your faith in, they give and give and give, and then it gets to be where it's like it's not enough if you're playing the victim, or if you're on the other side of being the rescuer that gives and gives and gives and gives and gives. It doesn't always stay like that. The rescuer gets exhausted. It stops working. The rescuing stops fulfilling the rescuer. The victim, it stops working. They stop working over time, because the only true thing that can help us in overflowing amounts is energy, where everything is energy. So the process that happens is that the person is out of alignment. They don't feel good or connected. They're feeling some type of pain inside, right? And then they look for something to do, or to create a habit of thinking, or that would help you feel better, to use as a tool. And it does work for a bit until we become more evolved and beyond these tools. Like all of you, we need then different tools that work and match our new level of awareness. There are payoffs that we're going to discuss in the next few days. What they are, why we use them. They do give us some relief temporarily from the pain. They help us feel in control when we don't. And they help us escape from anxiety or loneliness or fear. But with law of attraction, which is the first law that we're going to be talking about during this 7-day challenge, how does law of attraction relate with vices? That's a temporary fix. Well, law of attraction is always responding to our vibration. So if we're in pain, if we're in our pain bodies, we are attracting from our pain bodies. If we have an imprint of energy out of a bushwhack that we haven't fully let go, right? So bushwhack, Christmas Eve, get bushwhacked, hurt, have someone say something, feelings get hurt, ignites all these different parts of me. I've been releasing and releasing and releasing. However, there's been some stuff that was still there. How do I know that? Because I started reaching for the fudge because I was still feeling bad. So let go of the fudge, feeling good, feeling compassion, will then let that energy go. If not, with law of attraction, that energy stays in there and someone keeps eating, let's just call it fudge, right? Or doing their thing to temporarily give relief. Well, what's happening here is this is a vibration set point. And law of attraction is always responding to our vibration. So if we are in pain or in our pain bodies, this energy gets stuck, and that creates an energetic vortex, because energy, doesn't just sit still. It spirals. It attracts to it. It's like a magnet. And so we attract more things that make us feel fear, worry, doubt, scared, insecure, whatever this pain body is, but we keep reaching outside at a different source. If we let this go and find alignment of our good and our light by releasing hurts and resentments, by letting go of certain judgments, by stopping the drama triangle, complaining and not creating boundaries and things like that. If we are in alignment with good and light, we are attracting from that part of us. And if we're using a vice, we are temporarily trying to get away from our pain and escape, but it never works with law of attraction because our set point stays the same. And the things that we've been using as a tool then limits us in some way. That's why I said it affects our manifestations. So one of the practices for today is non-judgment. During this entire process of the 7-day Vice Freedom Challenge, and those of you that are going to continue with us for the rest of the month of January, you can go to christywhitman.com/vice freedom. We're practicing non-judgment because what happens is the judgment of that's bad, I shouldn't do that, I'm gaining weight or I'm hurting myself. There's a judgment. And it keeps us in a vicious cycle because we feel bad. We feel shame and guilt. I should know better than doing this. What's wrong with me? It creates this cycle, right? So for example, someone that may smoke weed or pot, right? They may feel better when they smoke it. They might have a judgment about doing it. Maybe they're sneaking it or, they feel bad after it or they're coughing or whatever it is. And it's the judgments that keep them stuck in the shame and the guilt. And that shame and guilt makes them feel bad about themselves, only to have them reach for more of relief, which happens to be more of the weed or whatever the substance. It could be shopping soda, an inner vice, like playing the rescuer. It could be sneaking chocolate, right? It could be doing things sneakily and nobody else knows or doing it obsessively. Well, this erodes our self-esteem and our self-worth and our self-love. And so we don't want to take vices into our new year and all that shame and guilt. One of the things we'll be doing in stopping your practice of non-judgment, stopping the judgments, is stop judging the tools. Because from a divine perspective, you always want to feel good. We're born wanting to feel good. We're born wanting to be and feel connected with the divine inside of us, who is always in that place of feeling good. And instead of learning the processes and the tools to connect with the one and only true and real thing that can give this that sense, that source of inner peace or contentment or fulfillment, we do what we learned by watching other people do it. We reach for the things we have access to. So I used to watch my sister soothe with cigarettes. So I would then started to soothe with cigarettes. I wasn't taught to go within and feel compassion and allow myself to feel what I want and process split energy and all that. Most of us weren't. If you saw your mom playing the victim, and she got what she wanted by doing that, then we take on that vice or that habit. Or if we saw your brother or sister smoking pot or cigarettes or fill in the blank, whatever your life situation, food, alcohol, shopping, working, right? If you use those things to feel better about your life or to self-soothe from the pain or disconnection you feel inside, that's what we do. But then we put the judgment on top of that, which then creates extra shame. But please, right now, bring in the energy of compassion. Compassion is not, oh, poor me, I've had it so hard. That's victim. That's self-pity. That's powerlessness. Compassion actually doesn't feel bad. Compassion feels soothing. It's like you're cold and someone brings you a nice warm blanket. And it's like, oh, it's so comforting. It's so soothing. That energy of being in the now and letting yourself just calm yourself down. It's okay. Breathe in, breathe out. Compassion is devoid of judgment. And when you are without judgment, You have the opportunity to let go and to forgive yourself and others. And the energy is so important from a law of attraction perspective. If you judge yourself, you're disconnecting from yourself even further and from the full multidimensional part of you, the divine inside of you, because the divine never judges you. You disconnect yourself from the good, loving feelings that the divine has about you all day, every day. As the council said, you are infinitely loved. And when we judge ourselves, we're in resistance and not allowing. And then law of attraction brings us more to be resistant about. So there's a lot going on when using a vice. And some of us, I don't have them anymore, I just did one, but sometimes we can shift from vices. Some of you have more than one. I used to have about 10 all at the same time. And over the next 7 days, for some of you, and the rest of the month for some of you, we're going to unpack these vices. We're going to unpack their uses and align you with the one and only truly thing that will give you relief and help you feel the connection that each one of us craves. So I'm not going to actually ask you to stop your vice today if you're not ready. And some of you might be like, oh, great, it's the first. I said I wasn't going to do it and I already did it. And now I'm beating myself up because I've already blown my whole year. Your moment is fresh right now in every new moment. Some of you are ready. Some of you need a bit more inner work before you stop the outer behavior, because there's a lot more to clear up and clean in the hurt department or the shame and guilt department. If you have a pattern or a habit that is internal, I will ask you to stop. Cut the cord to it. I'm not going to complain today, right? Cut the cord to that. I'm going to look for what's right and good today. I'm not going to judge today. I'm going to practice non-judgment. I'm going to practice compassion. If you're not quite ready, I'm going to get you ready. We're going to get you ready. But I just want to say this. It's not the vice or the tool that's the problem. It's what it's masking or what it's helping you escape. And when you're not using it, then and only then will you truly find, be aware of, be present with what you really are escaping with. And then you can heal it. Heal, as the council says, is moving from one vibration to another. That's healing. So I will encourage you to stop the behavior. And in the next couple of days, we'll give you so many replacement tools to help you with this. So make the decision right here, right now. Say it to yourself. Say it out loud. Make a declarative, I can't even say that word. Declarative, there it is. Make a declarative statement. I am ready to release the vice, and name your vice. I am ready to release the cigarette so that I can find the root cause and finally be free and healed. Let's do that again. And I'll pause so you can say it. I am ready to release the vice. Name your vice. So that I can find the root cause and finally be free and healed. We are together for the next 6 days in this format. There is an opportunity to receive more than the next 6 days. On January 7th, the Vice Freedom Challenge is completed, but on January 8th through the 30th, we're going to be in a private membership area in a private group on Facebook for the rest of the month to help you heal from whatever is hurting you or causing pain or having you reach for your vices. And so, like I said, there's lots of different bonuses. You can go to christywhitman.com/vice freedom, and your freedom is right there. So I get it. I did my share of vices. I just got off of another one and disconnected from it. And I get the shame. I get feeling lost and out of control. I get all that. And I'm happy to say that light, compassion, energy is that relief. I receive the guidance and inspiration to change my life, and I get the steps to heal no matter what the vice is. I went from a smoker to a non-smoker. I went from being someone that needed to flirt and get the attention of men in order to feel good about myself, to being in a committed and loving relationship with my husband, Frederick. I'm so happy to say that I am now connected to my divine, and that when I do get disconnected, because life happens, I'm able to easily come back knowing this process, because you can apply it for anything. So in summary for today, law of attraction is always giving us what we're vibrating. And even though we're using a temporary vice to temporarily feel better, right? After the coffee has been consumed, after the sugar has been eaten, after the cigarette of the pot has been smoked, after the money has been spent, you go back to your vibrational set point, and the law of attraction will consistently give you more of the same. So until you find a new tool to fill you up, one that actually connects you to that stream of high vibrational love and appreciation and gratitude and excitement and passion and purpose and inspiration and abundance and all those good things that are there and available to us, like prosperity and success, we're looking for love in all the wrong places. So if your vice or tool has been working for you and you're happy with your life and it's awesome, great. But if you want changes in your life, you want to change the tools that you use so that you feel better about yourself and you feel better in your life, but you're ready to use a hammer when what you really need is a candle, right? You're using a screwdriver when what you need is a jackhammer, another way of saying that. If you're ready to learn some new tools, you can go to christywhitman.com/vice freedom. And really quick, we're just going to do a exercise. We're typically going to be here half an hour. It went a little bit over. So I'm just going to bring in the council really quick to do a release inside the energy body and moving compassion instead of judgment. So allow yourselves to just close your eyes and just breathe in and start to notice any thoughts of judgment that come in, and just allow yourself to surround those thoughts in light. We are here. We were told that we yell too much, so we are not going to be as loud as we normally are. So allow yourselves to come into your physical body and move your attention down into your belly, into your emotional body, and let yourself just feel the pulsation of the energy inside of your belly. And let yourself just feel whatever is happening in there. Imagine you have a shame tank all around your physical body. And much like when you go up to your toilet, you can flush it, and whatever's in it, you flush it down. Nice image, council. Imagine you have your shame tank and that you've been holding on to shame. Doesn't matter what it's been about, but it's been in your container. It's been in your energy field. Well, imagine you have a button, just like the knob on the toilet. Imagine you are flushing it and letting all of the energy that you've been holding inside of your container, letting it release and flush out. Let it release and move down. And then let yourself turn inward and upward to the light, and just asking energy, asking light to pour down through the top of your head into your entire cocoon of light, your entire energy field. Let this light, this energy move past your feet and fill up your entire emotional body. So wherever you had felt the shame tank no more. Let it be filled with compassion. Let yourself just fill up with the energy of compassion. Compassion feels like soothing. It's calming. It's nurturing. It's satisfying. It's like slipping into a really warm bath. having a friend say, gee, that sucks, but you know what? Things always do work out for you. When you have a baby soothed, you touch their hair, you may give yourself a hug and rub your own shoulder. How do you soothe those you love? Let yourself bask in the energy of compassion. And any place that you are holding on to hurts or resentments, just imagine you are taking them out of your energy field. You are just letting them go, dropping them, taking your hand and cutting the cord to them, and letting yourself fill up with light. Any place or bushwhacks that you are aware of inside of yourself where you have energy containing and spiraling around, such as a pain point, imagining that you are scanning your body or you have awareness of there being a pain point. Maybe it is in your heart, in your belly. And just imagine that you are filling up that pain point with compassion light. And as this energy, like a bath bomb in water, as this energy is dissolving this pain point, let the energy drain down into the belly and feel the pulsation. You don't have to make a story about it. You don't have to worry or wonder what kind of energy this is. Just let the compassion energy fill up that pain point and let all the energy that had been contained within that pain point, within that energy container, which in that bushwhack, be released out, and that you are just pulsating that out of your body so that you no longer have the pain point, that it is filled with compassion and all that goes with it, the thoughts, all of it, just letting it release. Letting yourself have compassion. If a person pops up in your mind that had something to do with it, let yourself feel the compassion for relating with them. Let the energy of compassion move between you and them so that even parts of you are able to send them compassion, so that you are in non-judgment of yourself or others, and that you are basking today in compassion. We start here for the challenge, and we will deepen each day that we go along through the Vice Freedom Challenge and into the rest of the days for the program. We are reminding each of you that you are infinitely loved. Bring in your compassion. Allow yourselves to receive in a nice downpouring of compassion light. Just breathing in light. And when you're ready, open up your eyes, stretch your body. And the affirmation for today is, I allow myself to have more than I ever dreamed possible. That sounds like a good deal. Have a great New Year's, everybody. Happy New Year's, and appreciate each and every one of you. See you all tomorrow.